she got hurt, and boy, did I get it.
Well, I remember the time.
Yeah, me
She
and
cut her heel.
Yeah.
And Mama,
Yeah.
Mama took on the spokes. And Mama said to me, don't you let him do anything wrong. I was responsible. I'd say, don't take it. Lorraine took her on the bike and Christine got her foot.
the
cut her
spokes
down.
were cutting my heel.
Yeah, I mean, they
Inside
were
the-
slashed, really.
Yeah.
Almost to
I've
the
never seen-
tendon, and I said,
And-
you can't take me to the hospital, Mama
And,
said you're
and,
gonna die.
Bobby took her to the hospital. Bobby took you.
Not me.
Cassie,
No,
Cassie.
Oh,
Cassie.
gosh, what's wrong
It's
with
okay.
you?
Cassie
Oh,
took
Cassie.
me- Cassie took me to the hospital,
Right,
and
and
that
I
doctor
caught
At
head.
the
hurt
office, at
me.
the doctor's office.
didn't give me nothing to deaden
No,
it. I thought he was
he took her
ripping
to
it
the
apart
office.
instead of sewing
or
it.
whatever. Anyway, and I got blamed for it. And I thought I didn't do nothing. I told them not to, and they didn't listen to me, and then I get blamed for it. So I got the beating for you guys
You
all
got
the
a
time.
beating.
Yeah, I got a beating
Oh.
because you guys.
We got a beating for everything.
We all got
I
it.
remember one time Mama says to me, did you use the broom today? I says, yeah. So she beat me up. I says, well, I didn't use the broom last. Dolores did. She said, well, I already beat you up, so I'm going to hit her.
What did she hit you guys with?
Whatever
The
she
strap.
could,
She
strap.
used to have a
Strap or
double
a shoe
razor
or
strap.
whatever.
Double razors.
With the
Yeah,
little
there were
curve
two
on the
pieces
bottom.
of leather, like.
And she'd take it round. She would let you talk. And
I
then
think
after
one- I
you
think
did
one
it,
time I
she'd
threw
let
the
you
strap
talk.
in a
And then you'd
furnace.
say, well,
Did
what's
You
the
were always
difference?
wrong.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
always guilty.
Right.
Yeah,
No matter what.
whoever was the responsible party.
Yeah, you were
I
always
remember when Daddy's brother came over from Chicago, and you guys were little, and you went upstairs. You were sitting on my records and playing something or other, and Mama had an old typewriter there, and you guys were fooling around with it. And Mama said to me, I told you not to let them go there, not to do that and that. And she beat the heck out of me. I said, Mama, I didn't even know they were there. But it was too late. Mama always, she never gave me a chance.
But she was the one, because I remember when I was the oldest, if the house didn't get clean, I got it if Bobby didn't clean his bedroom.
So we used to hit you.
You
You better clean it, Bobby.
you really took out revenge. We didn't.
We used
Because
to-
I knew I would get it if he didn't do it, so I used to get him.
Well, I got it anyway from Mama too. I remember you used to pull
You
my
got
hair
away
all the
with it.
time. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I pulled Bobby's hair.
You weren't in my shoes. You weren't at home all the time.
I was home for a long time when you were
I
young.
got mad, so I pulled Bobby's hair. And the first time I ever heard him cuss, and I thought, oh Jesus, he's gonna beat the shit out of me. And I put something against Mama's door in the bedroom because he was mad. I mean, I'm mad. And I got scared. Well, how about the time you told me the cops were coming and you closed the French door on me?
And you broke it, right?
I broke it with my knee trying to get out.
I used to always put this
You
thing like
remember that?
Yeah, I
fear in
remember
her
it.
life. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
remember that.
It
I
was
do,
like
it wouldn't
she
happen
would
to you.
scare us. Like the one
What'd you
time
do?
I remember,
What year
I
were
was
you
supposed to
born?
empty out the water thing.
42 or
No,
42?
we took turns emptying out the water from underneath the icebox. One day Dolores did it, one day I did it, and one day Cassie did it. Okay? So I did mine, Dolores did mine, and then there was water on the kitchen floor. And Mama says,
Whose turn was
whose
it?
turn was it? I says, Cassie's supposed to do it today. She says, I'm gonna call the cops on you. You're not supposed to talk back to me. They're gonna take you away. And she put this fear, you know.
We're always
She did
afraid of
always,
the
we were
already,
afraid.
buddy.
She always acted like someone's gonna take us away because we're so
Well,
bad.
you guys were, I mean, you were on your own. Mom said that grandma worked. Where
Not,
Well,
not,
Grandma
not,
told
not,
me
not
that.
around
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Around 48, 49 when she
Not-
got
No,
Not
she
till
got
after-
the job in 1950 after Ricky was born.
there.
Yeah,
1950.
because
Oh,
see
okay.
what it was, is
Do you
for,
remember that
before
time?
Dolores got married, there was a
Mama
paycheck
drank
coming
the
from her,
shampoo and
paycheck
I
from
think,
me,
"You're gonna wash your
and
hair."
money
No,
from
was she
Kathy.
mad at you?
And then
Why did you
after
put
I got
it
married
black?
I
in
don't
'50,
know, I don't remember even.
well, she needed to get some.
She was,
Yeah.
I was
So she
bad,
went
I
to work.
guess,
no, you didn't do nothing wrong.
At the
Why
hospital.
did you put your
I
shampoo in
don't
the
know,
blackout?
I have no idea.
What did you do? Look at me.
I
I
remember
don't
this,
remember
I
that.
remember this, Lorraine, it was probably Saturday and Lorraine was getting, I don't know why she put her Halo, I know it's Halo shampoo and everything. She put her halo shampoo in a glass. Maybe
Drinking
not a
glass.
lot, but it was on a back porch. And my mother drank it.
Oh, is she shitty?
You mad at her.
Mom was mad at her?
No, my mother
Oh,
was mad at Lorraine.
for putting the shampoo in
Lorraine's
it.
the one that.
Why did you do that?
Mama said I
I don't remember what happened after that other
She
than.
says it's my turn.
I don't even remember
I
that.
remember that. It was on the back porch. I'm not saying you put a lot, but why did she drink it even? Yellow.
Well, when Dick and I were engaged and he got a car, a DeSoto, and we were driving around and then, so every time we'd go out to show, she'd say, you gotta take the kids with you. So I had to take
On the
the
date.
kids with me.
We used to go to the Gratiot Drive-In a lot.
Uh-huh.
I remember that.
You guys
And we
pile
had
in
to
the trunk?
pray all the way so the car would run and.
Those flat tires.
And this one time.
Dick would pick up Bobby
Yeah.
on the way home by his legs like this. He was sound
Carry him in the
asleep
house,
and
yeah.
carry him in the house. He didn't even know.
Oh, you remember when you?
I remember one time when Dick and Morris took us all to the drive-in. And wouldn't you know that you guys have
You
to
can
park
open it.
right next to this boy I got a crush on. Taking out with Nadine Campbell, and I hate her. And you're watching the movie, and I'm like, Adam Bydock, I'll never forget. He wore the, leather jacket and all. Everybody liked him. And that squirt sheet. I remember you got
He's
the
a squirt that's even out with someone else.
someone that I like. Of course, I guess he didn't like me, but anyway, it kind of hurt me. You're watching the movie and I'm over there.
You should have told me.
It's a comedy, Christine, it's a comedy.
Yeah, wish it was warm.
I know Lorraine used to like somebody in a drugstore there, and she used to always go to the
Jerry.
drugstore for something.
Sherry, his name.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie
Oh,
Cherry.
Eddie
You
Cherry, yeah.
cry if you want to go to the drugstore all the time.
Well, you used to always give them Sundays. Eddie Cherry, Madeira, and I was there as your brother. I never got nothing, but they got everything.
Yeah, that Eddie Cherry used to hang around next door with Ted Jelinski.
Yeah.
Because when I cut my foot, he used to call me Limbo. Because I was limping. That was Eddie Cherry.
Eddie Cherry, yeah.
One time I came home, I was out with
Look
Dick
him
and I
up, look
came
him
home.
up.
And we used to have buttons on the back of our blouse, and a couple of the buttons were open. My mother beat the heck out of me right there in front of Dad.
Figured Dick opened them up.
I don't
Dolores ain't
remember.
saying anything. She's still
You don't
smiling.
remember.
When I worked at St. Francis, I remember Auntie Nasca worked there in a diet kitchen, and we worked in the diet kitchen. And my mother also worked there afternoons, but she, happily got us in before we were supposed to work somehow. Or whatever.
We had to have a
And so
work permit.
Auntie Nasca told Mama that I was smoking, which I was. I was very careful. I never put nothing in my uniform pocket.
She used to pick up butts.
That's what we learned
That's
from
when
you.
I started buying
Oh,
my
yeah.
cigarettes. But anyways,
Lorraine, you're buying her cigarettes.
Mama had the uniform, and Mama says, "You got tobacco in there?" I says, "No, honest, it ain't. It's cookie crumbs." Because it was, because the diet kitchen had cookies. I never put cigarettes there because I knew better. And Mama chased me around the table, and I remember she caught me and she pulled my hair, and I guess I didn't want to cry, so I says, "I don't care, that's good. They say they bring oil to your scalp." That's all I remember. But I got hit for cookie crumbs. I was very careful with the tobacco. I made sure I didn't do it.
You know what?
I had to watch Auntie Nasca so she wouldn't see
Oh,
me. Jesus.
when Mama was sick, Mrs. Doman said to Mama, if one of your daughters come to work for you, I'll keep you on the payroll till you get better and come in. Well, it happened for 2 years, you know, I've been working on her payroll, she was getting the pay, and then Tanasco would make me do all the, dirty work, like washing. Well, you know, they didn't have dishwashers, they had the sink and the water was boiling, it was steaming, and I said, well, it's not fair, we're supposed to take turns, but she didn't, she just took it out. And then, after 2 years, I said to Mama, I'm quitting. I said, let Lorraine go to work. Lorraine says, I'm afraid of blood.
And then she becomes the nurse.
Then she went to be a nurse. But anyway, that was the end of it. I didn't go no more.
And Dolores?
When I was expecting probably Lori, I'm guessing, Lorraine was at the house and she was going to watch the kids because I had to go to the hospital. I don't know which baby I was expecting, one of them. And somebody was sick, one of my kids were sick and they threw up and Lorraine said, ooh, 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 and she couldn't clean it.
Really? You got the strongest stomach now, boy, oh boy.
You couldn't clean it. They
I
had
don't
to
remember
clean
that.
it.
I remember I couldn't change a diaper when I was watching Barbara's kids. If I was babysitting one summer when she was working in a shop somewhere, and I said to Mama, I'm not changing any dirty diapers. So she sent somebody over, I don't know who came, but if one of the kids had a dirty diaper, Mama sent somebody else to change it, because I knew I couldn't change it.
Remember when
You
we
were
played
watching-
strip poker on our porch?
No.
Poor guys.
Yeah, I
We never went too far though.
You always had it screwed on.
No,
remember that.
because you always had a bobby pin or a never had to go that
You could
far.
always leave your
Do you
shoes on.
remember?
No.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
How come he remembers and you don't?
No.
Because Uncle Bobby was sitting and
Were you
watching
there
her.
with us, Bob?
Yeah, but I wasn't playing, I was watching.
You didn't have a bobby pin.
I remember.
There was
Who are
a
you
water.
saying? I don't know.
I don't know who lived by Barbie's
how
house.
bad
We
they
had
are?
a big front porch. A bunch of kids.
Where's
did
your
it.
water at, Enda?
I just remember punishing the
I
kids
think
and
I have a
making them
bottle.
go to
Let's
bed
see if I have a bottle.
early
I
and
don't want a
pulling
bottle.
all the shades
What, you
down.
want me to just
so
pour
we
you a
had to go to
glass?
bed.
You were watching about 5 kids there, weren't you? You're 12 years old?
Yes.
See, Bobby remembers better.
Little?
Lorraine
What is that?
doesn't remember because she don't walk.
No, but I remember Barbara used to use the line, and I would hang it on a line for her, and then one day I would iron for her while I was there. I remember that.
I wanna hear
I
some
know
of
you
this.
guys want to go.
Remember the time the Red Wave Police came over there?
No.
It was Willie and I were playing on the tracks, well, we used to play across the tracks there by the trees there. And apparently some kids in the neighborhood there were putting junk on the railroad tracks, and anytime
What
The
time do
train-
you have to
trains
leave,
would come out.
midnight?
they, since we were playing over there, they come to ask us if we were doing that or.
Do you want some more water, Judy?
No, I
When
remember
Barbara lived
that.
at McDougal there by
Yeah,
the.
Yeah, the railroad tracks, right by Barbara's house.
Or else, we used to, behind Barbara's house, in front of Barbara's house was a coal yard, of course.
Right.
And then one guy, Johnny, whatever his name, he ended up dying.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what-
I remember that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Well, I thought he
went
actually
into
slipped
that
down.
silo
Yeah, he
or
slipped
whatever.
down the
down.
silo.
He
Yeah.
slipped on the conveyor, and it wouldn't took him up and in, and it
Oh,
was,
sucked
that
it
was
up.
Buried
that,
in the
Yeah.
coal.
Yeah,
coal was all like powder.
There was
Yeah.
something wrong with
Yeah.
him though.
Yeah.
but then behind Barbara was the slaughter yard. She had
Yes.
the railroad tracks on one
And
side,
boy, and you could
coal
hear
yard in
the
the front of
pigs.
her, and a slaughterhouse in the back of her.
Where
What's
pigs.
up?
Get
Yeah,
it,
they were
kill
slaughtering
them.
pigs.
And could you imagine that blood running down that
Yeah.
alley? And
Well, with-
not
well,
only the blood, did you hear the
Yeah.
squeal?
Oh, yeah, but what happens
Huh?
is usually when
Sounds
the truck
like
used to
the
come to take out all these intestines and everything else, and they take it out with barrels, so Willie and I used to ride the lift with the guy up to the top to watch him dump all his intestines into the truck. That was our, that's the way we played.
We didn't know any better. That was all fun.
That was all
The
different.
lift going up and down was a fun.
But that train was loud, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. The whole house shook.
And I remember Nora being
She
there.
lived upstairs.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I used to babysit over there when you did afterwards,
Yeah.
and I was 9 years old, I think, or whatever. I wasn't, Barbara and Walter used to go out
You
at
used to
night.
babysit yourself?
Yeah.
I don't remember being there unless you
No,
were.
you weren't, I was there by myself at night. I mean,
Oh.
she was there through the day. And then, because they said we were so close, I guess the mom.
So you watched when they worked and you watched when they went out?
Who watched when they slept?
I slept with them, and I slept with Ronnie. It was Ronnie, Willie, Stevie, whoever. Ronnie always peed in the bed every time.
Did you get part of it?
Huh?
Did you have to get wet? Did you get wet?
No, I had Willie next to me.
Never get over it.
Bobby used to feel like there's a fountain going.
No, just something warm.
Yeah, I kind of remember the smell of urine. I ain't kidding.
Did we ever have a dog? We had a dog, right?
Oh, yeah.
We had Patsy.
We had more
What
than
it
one
all
that
was,
would
it was
with
a
the bed.
combination
There was
of
more
all.
than just
Yeah.
one.
I just remember
Yeah.
that I did.
What about Patsy?
What about Patsy?
Oh, you were talking about the dog,
I
I
was
thought.
talking about.
Well, Lorraine
the
is-
smell.
I asked if we always had a dog.
Yeah, we
You
had
always had a
Patsy.
dog?
A mean
How could you
dog.
afford a dog?
It was
Huh, are
a-
you
It was a
kidding?
watchdog, it was a junkyard
Oh, it was a
dog.
junkyard.
No, he was
A
Spitz.
Spitz.
Was he
All
always
right.
outside? Was he always
Oh,
outside?
yes.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like
he
the
wasn't, he
backyard.
was in the basement for the night, and he
In the
went,
winter, in
he,
the winter.
he went underneath the
Oh,
furnace there and he burned his tail.
What a dumb
Remember
dog.
that?
Yeah,
do.
we had that dog for a lot of years, and one day
He was
Dick
real.
and I were in Mama's living room, and the dog was there, and I was petting her, Patsy, and she just snapped at me.
Yeah.
And Dick says, "Could you believe that? You know, we've had that dog so many years, and she snapped at me. You know."
Well, you know what happened when the war broke out and we had to go work in factories, we had to wear slacks. And the dog never saw us with slacks. And I come in the back gate and the dog jumped me and I still had a scar.
Wow.
With this, he scratched me with his paw so deep that I still have a scar
But
there.
those, he was really probably
Well,
more
we
for a
had him for
watchdog.
years.
Mama
That's all
had
he
it
was
for
a
a
watchdog.
watchdog.
I was
That's what
afraid
it
of him, he
was.
was always chained up in the yard with that
Yeah, I was
doghouse.
afraid of him
And
too.
I was afraid to come through the alley past him, and I mean, even though he couldn't get at me, I was afraid to go through the gate.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
I-
the time that
I
Bobby
remember
burned
that,
his
yeah.
leg?
Oh, yeah.
That's Christine's fault.
Yeah, you
On
know.
a
guys
cigarette,
were
on a cigarette?
No, no,
Christine
no.
was out, Christine and I were out there smoking Catherine's butts, or
No.
cigarette butts.
You were burning in one of those
We were
trash
burning
things.
and,
Leave.
Was
No,
it-
it was lunchtime.
it was
we
It was
lunchtime.
lunchtime.
It was
It was
lunchtime.
lunchtime, we were burning trash. She
Yeah.
was out home
Yeah,
from
it was
school.
lunchtime.
Yeah, I
And I
was,
was,
And I remember you guys were flagging it
No.
or something.
no,
and-
no,
Elizabeth
Betty took the broom and
Elizabeth.
she was flagging it with the broom.
No, she was trying to put the fire
Oh,
on
yeah.
him.
but
He
she
was-
was, but it was making it bigger.
On him.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's what we're talking about. Talking about the garbage.
Wait a minute, let's start from the beginning.
All I'm saying
Wait,
is,
let's start from the beginning.
I thought that there was smoke coming. That's the way I understood. There was smoke coming from whatever you were burning, what was burning in the backyard there. And Bobby, and I don't know who, but I know Bobby was there, and they were trying to flag it for the
No,
flames
no.
to come out.
No, what happened is there was a trash burner out the back.
We're
okay?
standing by it.
Yeah, we went to take the trash out to burn it, which we were supposed to do all the time. And we were at
Caught
lunchtime.
on his bottom of his.
Well, what happened is caught on my pant leg,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
But I
saying.
don't know if I was playing with sticks at that time or not, or if it caught on the
That's how
bottom.
it started.
Yeah.
So I started screaming. I mean, that's stupid. I
And
should've
Elizabeth
done
ran with the broom.
And Elizabeth ran with the broom and tried to put it out. And when Mama saw what happened, she just took it and grabbed her hands and took it and put it out with her hands.
No, Mama
Rod.
wrapped him around
Well, I
her.
don't remember,
Mama
I
wrapped him
don't
around her,
remember, but I
and
do know
she
she
held
put
him,
it out.
and then the cab driver heard the screams.
Yeah, that I
And he was
remember.
around the corner, he came and he took Mama to the hospital.
Hospital, right.
Yeah, and then I was following behind.
Right behind the cab, eh?
Yeah, it's still trying
And
to
that's where he's
ban
got the scarf.
Did you have scars? Do you have scars on your
Oh,
leg?
that's where he got the scarf from, to drag me out.
From when they were dragging you on the cabinet.
I remember I was at home.
Did you say European vacation? Is that what you're talking about?
I was at home 2 or 3 days later. You were there, and Mama was there, Dr. Simon was there, and my skin was curled up on the leg, and he had to trim all of it off.
Oh my
And I
God.
was screaming, not because
Yeah.
didn't want him to touch it. I just remember that.
Well, can you just looking at that,
You wanna play
you know, and
strip
of
poker?
course it was
See,
terrible. Yeah, that's why he kept everything on.
Probably four,
You wanna
probably
play
just
strip
after I got
poker,
out
you
of the
use
hospital.
your legs.
That's terrible.
It's
That's
about,
why
it's
it was
about,
his job to
it's
burn
on the
fire.
inside about like this and it's all shiny.
No, I
Because it
wasn't in
was
school.
burned
It's a
that
big
deep.
scar.
Yeah.
No, but I
I
was
believe
going
it.
to
Like
school
this.
together.
Well, he's lucky he didn't get an infection or anything.
Well, they said if he got burned anymore, he couldn't have taken the pain, he would have went into shock. The way I understood
Yeah, it was, the scar was up that high to where more or less I would
Couldn't
have.
have
Like from the knee to the
Right.
Poor Uncle Bob.
from the ankle to the knee.
And guess what? I went to
He was
school
third
late,
grade.
and I told the sister, I said, "Sister, I'm late because I have to watch my brother so he wouldn't get burned." She said, "Did he get burned?" I said, "Yeah."
I wanted to watch him burn.
We were all cheering.
I know.
She still made me stand outside the class. I think her name was Sister Yukunda.
Was that second grade or? Was
Yeah.
that first grade?
I think it was second. and
She was
made
from
me stand
Africa.
outside because I was late. After I told her why I was late.
You sure wasn't Aquafina?
I didn't come out right because I said I had to
Yeah.
watch my brother so he wouldn't
Did he
get
get
burned.
burned?
Did he get burned?
Yes.
She says, yeah.
Well, I remember Elizabeth's wedding.
But I watched him.
Now, what month did Betty get married in?
October,
Okay, so
just
that's,
before Halloween.
so this must have happened.
Just like that summer probably.
No, it was summer, well, she was in school, so it had to be in September. But I recall I had a sailor suit, okay? And I was still limping because of, you know,
Yeah.
this was already 6-7 weeks later. I was still limping and Uncle Sam gave me $1, I recall that. He said, "Don't tell your mother," and the first thing I do was give it to Mama.
Well, that's how Mama was. She'd give
Mama.
you a penny to have a cup of coffee so you wouldn't drink milk, and then she wanted to pay
Well,
back.
you know what? For my first Holy Communion, I was walking down the street, Eddie Stanick, he made his first Holy Communion the same day, and Tiberi lived right next door to the rectory. So we were walking the street, and Father Banasha came out and gave us each a nickel. So I said to, so Eddie went to Auntie Mary and he says, "Can he buy ice cream?" She said, "Yeah." I said to Mama, "Can I buy an ice cream?" She said, "No." She took the nickel.
That's how it was.
Yeah, that's the way Mama was, yes.
But Auntie Mary, she used to be good to us. We'd be
Oh,
coming
yeah.
home from school and we'd stop at her house because she was close there. And she'd always give us candy and stuff.
She had those
says-
little two-cent milk chocolate squares.
Yeah,
Oh.
she would say, "Here's
Always.
some medicine for you."
And you know what else she would say? We'd say, "Oh, we can't eat no more. We're full." She says, "Your stomach's still soft." Really? You say your stomach's still soft.
Tell Angela about your time in Port Austin running into the barbed wire.
That was another big
If you could
thing.
show,
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
experience, tell her.
Yeah.
We were on vacation, and I don't remember if
With
we were all there.
Elizabeth.
I know Elizabeth and Ray took us, I don't know.
Yes, no, I wasn't there.
And we went to visit Auntie Martha, and Auntie Martha had a lot of kids. We used to love to play. We were playing hide and seek
On the farm.
on the front lawn.
Oh,
And the front lawn, they had
Barbed
barbed wire fence around
or
to
a
keep,
pigsty.
well, to keep the animals out.
The
Because,
pig- Yeah,
Like
sure.
flowers or whatever.
so, there was an opening in the side, and it started getting dark, and I remember somebody was chasing me, and I don't remember who it was, and I was running as fast as I could, and I thought I was going for the opening, and I ran into the fence.
Ouch.
And both my legs got cut on the barbed wire, and I said, "Go in the house and get me a Band-Aid." I remember.
This was 2 or 3 strands of barbed wire, not one strand,
Right.
right?
I don't remember.
She still has the scars.
Yes,
She's got the scars.
I thought it was a
Straight.
pigsty.
They were straight on a pole.
But there were more than one, there
Yeah,
was
but-
more than
yeah.
one row.
Right.
Did you get in trouble for that at all?
And then
No, Elizabeth
Auntie,
Oh, it's
I
Elizabeth.
guess when somebody saw how it was bleeding, they said, they went and told Auntie Martha.
She took her there.
And Auntie
And Auntie Martha said, "We have to take you to the hospital." I said,
Oh,
No,
no.
you're not taking me no place. And I remember they put tourniquets on my leg.
I don't remember.
Well, I
And
remember-
Wait a minute, she went and she went
She
to.
poured vinegar.
with
on
Yeah,
it.
we were sitting on a chair there
To
with those
keep
pans. I
her
ran out
from
to see.
Yeah.
getting lockjaw,
Yeah.
which you could
Oh.
get from rust.
Oh,
And she
yeah, yeah.
poured, I remember poured
Tetanus.
vinegar on as a disinfectant.
Yeah.
I know that had to burn.
And I remember I said to Auntie Martha, if you make me go to the doctor, I'm never gonna come and see you again.
That was your
"Let's
godmother,
go."
right?
Let's go. Everybody now.
And then before, when Ray and Elizabeth pulled up with them in the back,
To McDougal on.
Yeah.
yeah, on McDougal, before Lorraine even got in the house, Elizabeth came running in the house crying, Mama, I tried, I don't know what happened. Lorraine ran into the barbed wire, and Mama thought she was dead the way she was. And then Lorraine comes in and she's got all these scars on her.
Bad.
But vinegar, I know it was bad.
It was bad.
Well, the doctor
Really?
did say something that vinegar didn't help her, I
Well,
guess.
yeah.
well, you know, I just remember the doctor saying to me that when I ran into it and came back out, that it pulled tissue out, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that. And he said, I'm gonna have to cut this, and I said, no, don't cut it. He said, it's gonna be hanging like that. Let it hang. Don't cut it. But he cut it anyhow.
Well, I know you've already told me this story before, but you have to tell me about the tonsils on the kitchen table too.
Oh, yeah. Bobby and Christine.
I just found something out about that.
What?
Okay.
You know, the way I remember it, again, I was
Okay.
5 or 6 years old, and Christine had a problem with her tonsils. So as a result of it, she needed to get her tonsils taken out. She was very thin at the time, I recall, and you had infections.
It's always sick.
And so, I guess we went to the doctor, and so Christine had to get her tonsils out. Mama says, well, might as well take out Bobby's too at the same time. So anyway,
For what?
since we're there, you know, why not? So anyway,
Free.
some Saturday, 3 doctors come over. I don't know, Dr. Simon and his brother and
His
someone else.
brother and I don't know who.
And,
else. They had
and
to
so-
wash down the whole kitchen, I remember.
Yeah, it was done on the kitchen table, and I was the first one, because I don't know why. I was the youngest, I guess. One was older, one. And so anyway, the doctor, apparently Kaz was in the room too, but he didn't stay long. But anyway, the doctor said, you gotta count till, just follow my count. So anyway, I counted to 89, I guess it was. I recall the number.
Drop
They were-
ether.
They were giving us dropped ether, but they took the tonsils out, and then they took Christine's out. And then, all I can remember is, the following day, I recall I was outside playing already.
Wow.
And, and you were happy because we got frozen custard.
I
You
was
were in one bed and I was in the other.
When you were on the table and the doctor's ready to give you the ether, you said to him, wait a minute,
Yeah.
doctor, let me
Yeah.
take the last look.
No. I said, let me say something, let me say something.
That's what she said.
And he says, what do you want to say? And I says, I couldn't think of
You
nothing.
said,
Did I say let me take
let
the
me
last
look
look?
let me look around one more time, you said.
Did I say
And we all
that?
started crying because we thought you were gonna die.
Oh, I thought I was going to say something. I didn't say that. I said, let me look,
Let me take another look.
One last look.
But this kitchen table that we had, it was rectangular in shape and it was kind of a cream color, but somehow, I don't know if it was what kind of material it was, but anyway, when someone put something hot on it, the thing all was like mapped out or cracked
Yeah,
out.
it cracked.
It was all cracked,
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Very
very marble, but if
expensive
it
table.
was,
It was
if
like
it
marble.
wasn't,
It was like marble tape.
I
if
don't
it was
think
taken
for like
care of, it probably would have
It
never
was
done
some
that.
sort of like a glass
Yeah,
or
it
ceramic
was
or something.
ceramic, I think is what it was.
It was probably beautiful before we cracked it.
But I remember that you two were having your tonsils out, I ran away because I thought he was gonna take mine out too, I remember that.
Mama might have.
She got a
What are you
deal.
gonna charge for another one?
I thought it was gonna be
You
3
wouldn't
for
put it
1.
in either because,
Buy
but
lunch.
it's-
I felt bad about that, Bob. I didn't know just
It was
a
marble.
little while ago that he just took yours out because of me.
I wasn't sick or nothing.
I never knew that.
Christine used to be so skinny, I remember giving her a bath in a bathroom, and you'd wash yours, all bones like sticking out.
Well, I
Oh,
couldn't,
I got
I
a good
couldn't.
story about Christine.
What?
One time Mama went to church on Sunday and Barbara and I were home. And Mama had cherries on the table in a football. And Christine takes this cherry with this, there she goes. and it stuck in her throat. And she started getting all blue and Brum was shaking her and we're hitting her on the back. It wouldn't come up. So one of us finally ran to, I don't know if it was you or
I
who,
don't
somebody ran
remember.
by Mrs. Wojcik and Helen came over and Mrs. Wojcik and then while they were on their way there, Barbara stuck her hand in your mouth and she pushed it through and or pushed it out or whatever. But
Wow.
you were turning blue already. And we were so afraid because Mama left us in charge of you kids.
They weren't afraid of you dying, they were afraid of
Everybody was doing the rap.
Right. Well, you know what? You
They
just-
hear the blue
you
baby.
just took that
Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Well, the kids
You
will
wanna
do funny
inhale the
things.
goo.
But you know what's really, this has nothing to do with it, but this is really dangerous, and I know probably a lot of people do know that, but little kids with marshmallows, if they don't, it gets stuck and it starts growing in their throat.
Marshmallows.
Expanding.
Yes. like
Marshmallows
a-
expand when they get wet.
Expand, and this happened in school where the teacher couldn't save this one boy. It just, it expanded in
I
his
never
throat.
heard of
I
Yeah, but
didn't-
you know what I heard is
never
worse
knew
yet?
I
I
didn't
never
know.
knew that.
You know what I heard is worse yet? Kids eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
Because the hot dog is like a plug that could get stuck in their
Oh.
throat.
The same
And when you're
size.
Isn't
feeding
that
them the hot
size?
dogs, you're supposed to cut it in little tiny pieces.
Oh, I didn't
where it's
know
not
about
rounded
that.
Well, I heard
Cheese.
peanut butter
Cheese.
too.
Yeah, peanut
cheese.
butter.
I heard that's supposed to be real
I
bad
heard
for-
somebody, I don't know if
But
they
we're
were
talking about
guys,
plugs.
somebody
Yeah.
told me about someone that had some surgery, had a peanut butter sandwich and died, it wouldn't go
Yes.
down.
Yeah, but
Didn't,
see,
you know-
see, the hot dogs
What's
make
it got to do
plugs.
with the
The
surgery?
peanut butter could,
Well, I'm just saying he has.
They probably had to cut a hole in there.
What?
No, I mean,
Nothing.
I mean-
because of it, he
No, no, I don't know why it come out that way, but it was, somebody really did have some kind of procedure done.
Yeah.
It
And
was
they-
supposed to.
And he said, what do you wanna eat
okay,
now?
I see.
And the guy said, and I don't remember who was telling me, the guy said, yeah, it didn't sound right.
Marshmallow.
Said he wanted
Said
peanut
he
butter.
wanted peanut butter, but you know,
Oh.
I suppose the people gave him the sandwich and maybe nobody was watching him. And I guess he actually just, but could it be too, because being that you didn't eat all that time, your throat's really dry? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, there's probably a lot of different things involved. There would be a.
Well, I know you guys want to wrap
You
it
got
up.
on real fast. No, it just
No,
so
no,
happened
no,
that
it
that's
wasn't.
the first thing you wanted to
Yeah.
eat after.
Okay,
I
what
know.
else?
Well, I know you guys want to wrap it up, but did you guys ever go on? I know you're gonna laugh, a vacation, or what did you guys do in the summertime and stuff? Did you go to? You said you went to the farm.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go to the beach or anything like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
once in a
When you were
while.
old?
No,
Belle
well,
Isle, I remember.
but when we were
going to
growing
Belle Isle.
up, not when you guys were, but when we were growing up, we used to go to Port Austin just about every summer.
Right.
And Port Austin, and then we stayed at our aunt's house there, and the beach was right there in town, right outside of
Whose
town.
aunt? Your aunt.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
All of
stayed
you,
there.
all of you.
Yeah, they
Oh,
stayed.
I never had a vacation without you kids. I'd go up there, I had to take them all with me. And then we would go out at night and they were sleeping and 6 o'clock in the morning, Lorraine be pounding on the door. Catherine, get up, we're
She never
hungry.
got up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
She's up at 10 o'clock, 10:30 every
You
day.
had a cabin with your
Yes.
girlfriend.
she did. Yes, I did. And you guys
And
come
You
back.
got mad at me because I was reading your love comments.
I love what?
Yeah, your love comments.
What?
You and Helen. Kristen,
You know what?
you shouldn't read those love comments.
Angela, what I remember when we were kids, we might have gone once a year to a picnic.
Uh-huh.
From the
They used
parish.
to have it from the
And Glen-
church
on
at
Glen-
Green Glen Park.
Yes.
Right.
And if we went,
In a truck.
it would be a truck, a
Daddy
big
had the
truck,
truck, yeah.
and everybody would be piled in there, and we'd
With
go
a
out to the
rocking
picnic,
chair.
you know.
And
Are you serious
Daddy
with
would
the
go
rocket?
with us, and then they had prizes, and Daddy won a bird cage with 2 birds in it.
So then we had something else.
So you had something to
know.
eat? No, just
I know they ate the birds.
And my mother would take us out to the cemetery to visit the grave.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
she
Now,
hitchhiked
Jacob, that
home
means
with
walk.
us.
But didn't you guys have picnics there or
Right.
something, or no?
And then-
We
You had
walked,
picnics at the?
I
we
don't
walked
know.
all the way to Van Dyke from my house on McDougal.
Wow.
To go to
Every
the cemetery.
Sunday, we took a picnic lunch and
See,
we
we
sat
did
on
have
the
a
grave and
picnic.
ate with my sister.
But Mama was tired once and we all hitchhiked home.
Oh, I
And
remember.
then my dad was
Good thing we
working
got home.
by the lake
Uh-huh.
for my aunt. He was working for my aunt by the lake, by Aunt Tracy's house, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was building her a cottage. So I know Catherine was there, I know Eddie Steinich was there, I was there, the kids. And I was the baby at the time. And I know we used to sleep, we'd sleep in a bed instead of sleeping this way, we'd be sleeping this way.
Yeah.
I remember me crying as the baby of the family, I'm all squashed, I can't sleep. But then Catherine and Eddie Steinich took a blanket, and the water was there, they used to swing me in a blanket.
Throw you in the water.
she would go. Ellen, how about the time in that truck? You and I were in a truck.
We started it.
The truck and it's facing the water. And we didn't know what we were doing.
You started the truck?
Maybe,
I don't know
maybe
how
5
that
years
was.
old.
You started the truck?
Yeah, well, we didn't start it, but we must have got it in
But that
gear.
was,
Yeah,
yeah,
but they-
stick
Moving
shift.
towards the
But
water.
what they had too at that
So what
time, they
did
had
you do?
a starter, a push
I don't
button
know.
starter.
Oh.
And the car
Someone
would
saved us.
just move just a little bit
And
at a time.
it was,
Someone
I don't know
saved us.
whether.
So what happened?
Who
Someone
saved her?
I don't know,
remember.
but we were saved. Here we are.
I
Yes, you
remember
would,
Ray
because
used
you
to
wouldn't
do
be
that
there.
on purpose. He would come right next to the water and he'd drive real fast and he'd stop when he'd take us to Port Austin.
Ray.
Ray.
Oh, Ray was terrible.
I
about
remember
driving.
he did that.
He used to speed sometimes.
Oh,
What
yeah.
he did, he
Scared
used
the crap
That
out
one
of
time
me.
he was racing with another car going down Van Dyke basically in this 2-lane road. And I don't know how fast they were going, and Betty was pleading with him to slow down. But he and this other car was racing each other two abreast for a good distance. I mean, he would go
He was
80,
daring.
90 miles an hour.
Yeah, but there was nobody
But
doing
see,
that
Ray
to
was
right by the
Yeah.
water purposely.
I
to
remember
scare
he
us.
did that. I remember we were at a bar or something. And I remember all the fruit flies, not the fruit flies, but those other flies. What do you call them?
Fish
flies.
Fish flies all over, and then Ray taking the car and around the water going as fast as he could.
Well,
And I was like,
when they lived where they do live, he used to go down that street really fast.
Anchor Bay Drive there.
Yes. And you know, it's got the curves and everything. He would go further all the way to the end, you know.
Wow.
He used to really.
Do you remember Cassie taking us to the mall after the stores were closed, Northland?
No, I don't remember. Why were we gonna bust them?
No, just to go and window shop.
You couldn't go when it was open.
I remember Cassie one time.
We might buy something.
He was
Yeah.
driving. And wasn't he falling asleep in the back of the wheel, and we were all trying to wake
Yes,
him up so
yes,
that
yes,
we could get
yes.
home safe?
Right.
He's sleeping and he's driving,
Right,
and we don't know how to
Oh
drive.
my goodness.
well, I
I was in the
remember
car
one
then.
time was funny. Googie was driving the car. There was Dolores and Dick and Googie and I. We were driving down Woodward. And we're driving and Googie says, oh, look at their wheel going by. It was our wheel.
Yeah, it was.
And all of a sudden the car went,
Well, when we would go out with, Dick and I go out with Adolf and his
oh God, that
girlfriend,
was terrible.
he always had a flat tire, Adolf, always. So Mama wouldn't believe, sometimes we couldn't get that tire fixed and I'd be late home and she wouldn't believe that that's what it was because he always had a flat
And
tire.
before you went out all day
No, you're
Saturday
really
afternoon, be fixing all kinds of flats. Adolf was in an alley. Then they would go out and they had all kinds of flats. They probably got 1 mile of flat. He didn't do a good job, did he? I'm talking, because the whole thing was all flat.
You know, the tires were probably rejects that somebody threw away.
I think they had a patch on top of patch.
Well, you know, you couldn't get cars in those days.
They had-
You
Yeah, I know,
to
you guys
order
gotta
all
go.
new Cars, you know, nobody could get a new car in those days.
Yeah, I remember
They had
when
all the
Cassie
inner
got
tubes
that old
that,
car.
yeah,
he'd
they
say,
did.
I don't know what year it was, but he, instead of saying the year, he would say, I forgot what it was, he had a Buick or something, he'd say, I got a 2, and it could have been like could have been, say for instance, 92, the car was actually like 72.
Actually, what it was probably about, like if it was a 2, probably like a 30.
20-some years old.
No, yeah, it was probably like a 32 because I recall it had running boards on
Yeah,
the end.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it had a starter crank on the
Yeah,
front that
yeah.
you would use.
No, but I
Isn't
remember
that something?
telling you that he never come out and said the whole year, he'd say 2.
Yeah.
The 2, nobody knew what was in front of that 2.
Yeah, I used to get excited and I used to push that starter. I don't know how long, but then he used to inch towards Zelensky's here. That's thrill.
The other thing that she was talking about is getting the dishes and stuff from the movie theater when you guys would go to the movies.
Oh, yeah,
And,
that's how we got to go
Your
to
news,
show.
your news clips were at the movies and stuff, weren't you?
Yes.
Did they have about the
Yeah,
war
news clips
updates?
About the war.
That's how we used to get.
When you went to the movies, you always seen a whole bunch of stuff, not like you do today. You don't-
And
There were 2
anytime
movies.
someone would break a dish,
At the movies? Oh, that's funny.
Now somebody dropped a
Oh.
Saturday,
Opa!
and then on a Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
sometimes at Lasky Theater, they used to
Go ahead,
have
just-
free bicycles.
Yeah,
Oh, really? They would get like raffle them off?
yeah,
On
maybe
the- on the
somebody
stage,
bought
probably
one or
from-
two bucks.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, when we
You
were
wouldn't
growing,
buy tickets, it'd probably be automatic if you're there.
Yeah.
when we were growing up, the bike that actually Aunt Christine got hurt on, I guess Catherine bought it for us. And I think you bought the one for me too. I had a smaller one. But later, as I was, you know, this was a smaller bike, probably 6 or 7-year-old would ride. And then later, when I was in, I think the 7th or 8th grade, anyway, my father had got some old bike or something, so I went ahead and I took it, I painted, this thing must have been ancient. And I took it to Corpus Christi and the nuns saw me with it. So anyway, they went ahead and they recommended that I would be safety boy of the month or something like that. And so as a result, I went on the stage for a shorty show and they got me a new bike.
I remember that, I
Yeah.
remember that bike you got.
I remember when you got that clown, or what was it that you got?
Oh, Jerry Mahoney, what was that?
Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie McCarthy, yeah.
Yes, he got a
I
big
think,
Well, I
including my
wanted it at
You were on
Carnival.
yeah.
That's it.
carnival. You were on
Corpus Christi.
radio or something.
No, I was on television for the bike.
Television. Oh, that
That's
was
for
on
the bike.
television.
That's
Okay.
for the bike.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
I remember when,
the
yeah,
bike.
I do, I remember.
I was
that.
in the 7th grade, yeah.
Boy,
It was
you
an
could have
old
made a
bike.
mint for that Charlie McCarthy now.
Well, that thing I won at Corpus Christi Parish there was
You know,
raffle.
talking about a bike, this Aunt Ursel gave me her daughter's bike, and her daughter is 52 or 53. She got it when she was just a young kid. And never painted or nothing. I bet you that swing bike is worth money, eh?
Yeah, probably.
I drive Angela's. Angela got it when she was 12,
I wanted a 10-speed
and so she didn't drive it.
so I wouldn't drive it at all.
Except the time you got hit by a.
By a car. I did drive it and get hit by a car, yes.
On 12
On 12 mile.
Wow.
I wanted a 10-speed and she said, you buy your own 10-speed, but here's a bike for you, and I was so mad
We
that
bought her
year.
a Schwinn.
They bought me an old lady bike
So she drove across 12 Mile
and I got hit by a
at the
car.
traffic light, which she did, and the lady, I guess,
Hit my back wheel like, and I went into the gravel.
You were really hurt.
I just scratched up and shaken up. I didn't tell them for a long time too. I was afraid to tell them. I said, I fell off the bike, and they're like, no, you look a little too bad, and that bike is a little bit. They figured it out. Parents always know everything, don't they? Oh, you know what too is, what did you always say in school when the nuns would hit you, and then you said, I didn't do nothing.
I remember one time, when we went to the bathroom at Corpus Christi, we weren't allowed to talk to each other. And, I went into the bathroom, and I guess somebody had written on one of the walls of the stalls, so-and-so likes so-and-so, or loves so-and-so, whatever. And when we came back, I guess Sister went to inspect the bathrooms, and she saw that and wanted to know who wrote that. And I got blamed for it. And I said, I didn't do it, Sister, I didn't do it. And Sister said, they said the girl said I did it. So Sister took the ruler, and with the metal part of the ruler was hitting
Your
her
knuckles.
Yeah.
on my knuckles. And I remember I was
Yep.
so upset. I came home and I said, Mama, Sister hit me with the ruler. I didn't do anything, you know.
You anyway.
Mama said,
She gave it to you the same day.
Sister is there to take my place. And what she says goes, 'cause she's the boss.
So did she hit you again?
No, but Mama
They
said,
used to, I
Mama
used
said,
to.
but Mama said to me, there are times you probably got away with something,
Yeah.
and now you got hit for something you didn't do, so it evens out.
See, when we were little though, if we told my mother that somebody hit us, an adult hit us, she would
Not
hit
a
us.
doctor, teacher, or
Well, I'm
sister.
saying, she
Yeah.
would hit us too.
Yeah.
Because she said you deserve it.
That was the fire, we got it
Yeah.
twice, huh?
But you know,
So
she
we're
really
not
gave good
exclusive.
advice.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
gave good
I
advice.
think she did a wonderful job in raising us
Yeah.
anyway.
Because-
Think of it.
Because what she said is true, the teacher is there taking their place.
Yeah.
And we have to respect what they say, and even though they're not perfect, they're doing the best they can.
But you know, it's
You know.
every generation is different now. Diane told me, like, we sing about Mama, she probably did the best she
Yeah.
could because it was in those times that she raised us. But now Diane says to me the other day, she says, Ma, she says, one of my girlfriends wants to come and meet you. She says, if you raised eight kids and you're still sane, I wanted to see what kind of angel your mother was. See, that's how they feel now.
Yeah.
In today's things,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, and then just one other thing. Well, when you were talking about your wedding, and my mom said that weddings were from Saturday to Sunday, and you had the day after,
Right.
you know, it would last all weekend.
It did it. Sunday, everybody, all the food was brought back home in big pots. We were sitting on them, from Lisbeth's wedding, I remember sitting on those pots. And then the next day, they had all the relatives that came from Port Austin or Chicago or wherever, plus your whole family, everybody was there.
But I
They eat the
remember,
leftovers.
yeah, but I remember also like when we went to Port Austin there was of course a lot of cousins that were getting married. And Aunt Martha's family, she had 15 kids originally and 13 lived. So there was, every summer there was one or two weddings there. But we'd get there on Friday and you partied a little bit on Friday. Saturday morning, the mass was at 9 o'clock and then you went right away and you had a breakfast that was like a meal. I mean, it was a big meal.
A
And
supper
then-
for
And then
breakfast.
you had dancing and then in the afternoon, you rest a little bit. And it started up again about 5 o'clock and then it lasted until,
Soup and
you know,
chicken
until
and the whole
One,
you
shop.
got
two
2 in the
in the
morning.
morning, right.
And the next morning you got up and it was all day, well, not all day, it was all afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
party.
I know when
That's
I
how
first
our
got
weddings
married,
were 2 years ago.
you know, Googie's
Yes.
family wasn't Polish or anything. And so Googie says to his brother, he says to his brother, are you gonna come over tomorrow for poprawini? He said, what? Poprawini?
I know, it's time to go. We gotta go. This is funny.
Get a little rank now.
The band used to come to the house. Do you remember the band?
Yeah, 3:45.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they on a front
On the
porch.
Oh,
Yeah.
my wedding, I remember, yes.
The band would
Your
come to
wedding
the
too?
house before the
Your
wedding.
wedding?
Oh, really?
Had it,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
we
Before
did.
church, and they would play music before the bride and the bridesmaids
Oh,
came
yeah,
out.
we all had that.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
we
had
all-
that, I had that, Dolores had that.
Yeah, so many pieces of the band came over and played music.
On the porch, on the front
And that
porch.
same band that played at night, like played all morning till 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
wow.
And then came
And
back
then they
in the
came
evening.
back for the evening and played the whole
again.
evening.
How much is something like that? That had to be
It wasn't-
expensive.
Well, you know
was,
what?
But it was more,
People talk about prices today, that weddings cost
They're
X
crazy.
amount.
Weddings
But
never
you know
did
what?
before, did
They did, because you know what? I remember for
You
my
didn't make
wedding,
a lot of money, so those were
I
big
remember for my
prices.
wedding, it cost me, just for the food, and it wasn't a real big wedding like Dolores had, $300. I remember that because I borrowed the money from Bowers.
That's a lot of money.
And $300 just for the food. Now, you're not talking about the cooks or nothing else. Now, $300 is how many weeks' wages at the time, just for the food?
We only brought home
Probably
like
about
$40 a week.
7 weeks away.
But you know what, I remember Freddie giving me, because we weren't going out that long, and Mama didn't want us to get married that quick, because we started going out like in February.
Oh, look what you did to Chester.
What?
Remember? Chester and Dickie?
Yeah.
Mama said to me,
No,
she went out with Chester, and Chester's brother's name was Dickie. And Mama said, she liked Dickie, and I wanted to go out with them. She says, don't do to Dickie what Lorraine did to Chester, because Lorraine didn't want to go out with him anymore. And so I went out with him so I could smoke. Then
We did anything to smoke.
he gave me this friendship
Not
ring,
really.
I remember, and we went to a weenie roast. And,
Back to the weenie.
Go ahead.
after it was dark, and we were roasting marshmallows. marshmallows. So I didn't like him anymore, so I took this ring off and I threw it in the bushes and I said, I guess we ain't going steady no more, I lost my ring. He says, I'll get you another one. I said, no! I thought I took care of everything. So anyways, I did the same thing you did.
Yeah, but
Well-
you remember what happened though?
Yeah,
That- what?
yeah.
What?
He came over and wanted to know why I was angry. He was talking to you in the alley. Come to think of it, he said, is she mad at me because I picked up so-and-so when he was out driving someplace? Which I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, no, but the thing was, he kept coming back more or less, and then he went ahead and he befriended me so he could see you somewhat. And then we used to go to Marine City, and he used to come over quite a bit for me. I was 14 or whatever,
Yeah.
just so he could actually have exposure, just so he could see you.
Yeah, but then he says, does she
Yeah,
know
well,
something about this girl he picked up? I said, I don't know, I couldn't care less, I don't like her.
No, but anyhow, what I
Well, we
wanted
talked
to
about the
say
wedding.
is, when we were gonna get married, I told Freddie we couldn't get married. Mama wanted us to wait, because we had no money. And I remember Freddie gave me, and I don't remember if it's $1,000 or $2,000 in the checking account, so I could use it for the wedding. So whatever it was, if it was 1,000 or 2,000, it was enough to pay for everything. I remember,
Well,
everything.
see, mine,
He
I
really
remember I
liked
borrowed
you.
the money.
Why did you then?
But you know, I paid for the food. But then we opened up the envelope, the orchestra, the
Right.
Damn, I didn't know he had it in him.
This is on tape.
Well, I know, you better watch it. Well, what about the diamond necklace? Mom had this diamond necklace. Who's that guy? Who's that guy from? Who's that necklace from? In the picture.
It wasn't a diamond.
Well, it was a fake, but
Nothing wrong.
I got that from, probably from
That
Chester.
was
oh,
only
from
repeating.
Chester. There was somebody else my grandma wanted Mom to marry. Chester.
Chester.
Yeah, Chester, the one that was Dickie was his brother.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Or Shipsky.
I was writing to him, I think he was in a service.
He was in
and
the
when
Air Force, yeah.
When he came home, he wanted to get engaged. I thought he brought a ring. And Mama, I was like a senior in high school.
She wanted you to marry him. And
She
Lorraine
wanted me to
didn't
get
want him.
married, and I said, I don't want to marry him. She said, he's tall, he's Polish, he wants to marry you. I
And
said, I
Lorraine
don't want to
said,
get
"Yeah."
married, I'm going to school. So I said to Mama, you want to marry, you like him so much, you marry him.
I remember that.
You marry him.
And then I said, how about his brother Dickie? I was only 15. I was too young to go out, but she let me.
It was a consolation prize.
We went to see this, I think it was Oklahoma, which was,
young they were.
and I remember, I didn't like
I
him
was
at the
17.
time, so after we watched the movie, it was in the evening, I said, I want to see it again. I figured, boy, Mama's going to be so pissed at him. Because I'm gone all this time. She wasn't. She still liked him.
Good.
I had to dump him another way.
All right, we'll just have to wrap it up for now.
Of course, everybody.
That was pretty good.
was acting like they liked him. He was just one of a kind. He must Chester.
How about that albino? What was his name?
No, he was a
Dread
mulatto.
that on.
Mulatto.
Oh,
Mulatto.
Chico.
That's a
Oh,
big
antelope. I got
He
it.
worked at he was a patient at St. Francis
He was
Hospital.
dark, he wasn't light.
Albino Levant.
His father was like the ace of spades, but he was like. Now, Lorraine used to answer the phone. He used to call from St. Francis to the homes and talk to me. And Lorraine don't remember, but I swear to God I remember. She would say, "Hello, BB's Bar. Who did you want to speak to? I'll see if she's here."
Well, I remember Dick.
She did.
I
remember.
I remember either Mama
I
or
remember.
Why
Mama
did
telling
you
Dick or
change?
Dick saying something that he needed to take
Why
you
did
where
you
he
bend
lived
the
to show you
He
that
did.
he was black.
He did.
He did?
He did. Because I really liked him.
Yeah.
And then one time you and I went to show, and I saw him there with some friends. Do you remember that?
No,
Well, maybe I just kept it in my heart. I said, "There's Chico! Chico's the man!" I went to show with you, and I just happened to see him, and I think he was with like anyways, you would never know he was black. I didn't know.
Until you had some bambinos.
Yeah, please.
The minute you got introduced to his family, you would have known. But I didn't know. I didn't believe what Mama said because Mama used to do that to me when I went out with this one kid. And Marie Welk, she was like a pretty good student, and you know, Mama let me double date with her. Well, we went to Weenie Roast, and I guess we had a little bit of beer. Well, Mama smelled it on me.
Everyone.
So what happened was the next time he called, unknown to me, don't you call my daughter, you were drinking, da 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 da. And then I would say, Mama, did so-and-so call? No, I don't think he's gonna call.
Ever again.
I found all that out from Maria. Marie.
Well, when Dick
Then I was gonna run away from home and I got as far as Springs. Then Mama made me talk to Barbara and Barbara talked the sense to me. You don't want to leave home? Yeah, go, no, my man.
We never tried that.
Barbara.
Right.
Not that it mattered.
Go ahead.
I guess I listened to her, but at that time I didn't know the difference. I'll show her, I'm leaving.
Wow, I
Yeah.
tried doing that, Dolores.
No, when Dick was, when we
Just put it
were
around the
engaged,
corner.
he was writing me letters in Polish. He bought himself a Polish-English dictionary.
Oh, no.
Whatever it said there, he wrote it in a letter, and the letter would come to me, and before I got it, it was all red.
My mother opened up my
Oh, she opened all your mail and stuff and would,
Oh, yeah.
she knew. Well, with all those girls, you had to be.
And she Rosie introduced me to him, and I made a date with him, and Barbara made a play for him, and he made a date with Barbara the same day.
Oh, boy.
See, but
When
now,
he comes to the house and I said to Mama, I'm going out with them. He made a date with me. Mama said, Barbara's older, she goes with him. So Barbara went out with them, and she went out with them once and she dumped them.
oh.
Then he came around and Auntie Rosa said, Catherine, please go out with them. He likes you. I said, no way. I wouldn't go.
See, but with all those girls, you didn't have anybody who was pregnant before
No,
marriage.
never.
You know what I mean?
Anybody that-
Nobody, not like today. You
No,
know, with all those
never.
girls, she was
No.
on it.
I was a virgin
But
till I died.
You died.
Expecting a baby.
Nobody, you know what I mean? With all the girls and everything.
I mean,
That's something, you know, how things have
Mama
changed.
always told me, and I don't know what she told everybody else, but if a guy really loves you,
he'll wait.
he'll wait.
That's
He's not
right.
gonna do
I always
anything.
told my girls that too.
Yeah,
He would never do anything to you, he'll wait.
yeah. But it's just amazing how times have changed from that, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Now it's almost like if,
Expect it.
yeah, and then if your mother was 16, you know how it is now, the girls at my
That's
work,
not- that's
then
not
they had it
even
when they were
the big
16.
thing anymore, living together, none of that's the big thing.
Yeah, but
The
now,
bigger, the big
it's
thing is
terrible.
now,
It's just like
don't abort your
Hollywood.
child, or don't do this, or don't beat, or whatever. It's not so much
But
living
the girls
together,
go
it's
out
like
to dinner now, and
accept
they
it.
expect to have sex right
But you know,
That's
it's
true.
everywhere. It's
Oh,
your
yeah,
mama
that's
did it.
terrible.
Hey,
It's
listen,
the
let
way
me
the
tell you
world is
something.
today, but
There's
it
a
doesn't
girl-
mean you have to be
two
that
girls
way.
Right.
I love.
It's the
They
same.
were
It's
nuns.
terrible.
They
Really
left the
is.
convent, okay? They were
Oh, the
nuns for I don't know
convent.
how many years. Do you know that she's in her late 40s, early 50s right now? She says, when I came out of the convent, she said, I wouldn't marry a guy unless I tried it first.
Ah!
This is a nun,
Yeah.
okay? And then she was telling me all this, and I said, how can you say a thing like that?
No.
She said, oh yeah, she said, I married this guy the first time, she said, I tried it, but I didn't realize he was a drunkard, so I divorced him. Then she went with another guy, she said, I didn't like it. Now she's going with somebody else. And she told me this about a
Little
month ago. She said,
nymphomaniac.
I would
Now,
not
yeah.
marry a guy with a, what you call it?
Wow.
And she's a nun. I mean, what kind of...
Wait, she was a nun or what? Okay, we gotta wrap it up.
I heard there's two of them.
All
And they were
right.
both
Thank you guys. Yes, 2 hours of fun.
Okay, we're listening.
No, let me see, is it off?
Yeah, it's up.
Let me see.
Right here.
It's really off?
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah, it's
I see a
rewinding,
picture.
rewinding.
Well, you can because it's rewinding.
Oh, boy.
It's
that's
off.
okay.
Turn it
I'll shut it off.